Go.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the New York State Bridge Authority meeting, our monthly meeting. Today is Thursday, July 18th. We have an amended agenda. We have our agenda before us that's been before us. We just want to please note one change, the removal of the ITS fiber lease listed under bridge operations. All right. And also, nothing else?
Yep.
All right. So a motion to have the amended agenda be accepted, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, our Administration and Human Resources, Management Compensation Plan update. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yeah. Adopt the regular board minutes of June 20th.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next, Administration and Human Resources. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, thank you. Before we move further, let me introduce our distinguished commissioners around the table here. On my left, Mr. Commissioner Rod Dressel. Next to him would be Diane Jumblowski, Commissioner Roger Higgins, Commissioner Harry Stanton, our counsel Carl Whitback, our acting executive director Tara Sullivan, and myself, Richard Gerantine, as chairman. Now, in saying all that, we're going to move forward with our business, our Administration and Human Resources, Management Compensation Plan update. Tara, I thank you for
Yes.
deal with this.
Thank you, Chairman. This is the very small changes that I spoke with both you, Chairman, and Commissioner Jablonski about, and that you approved when we reviewed some needed staff changes. So those two changes are amendments to the current management confidential compensation plan.
And the reason why we did that was the fact that we are no longer having a position that was a PR position, correct?
Correct.
And we're going to disperse the responsibilities among other employees.
Beautifully said. Thank you.
Move the resolution, Mr. Chairman.
Second, please.
Second.
Any questions? Diane and I met with Tara on one occasion, I'm sorry, and we had discussions with her regarding various things, the discussion regarding the personnel people that were involved in it, and I think everything seemed to be fine. Any other board members have any questions? No? Any employees have any questions? We don't take questions here, sorry. But anyway, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? No? Congratulations, everyone. Who it affects. Second, engineering and maintenance. Mr. Jeff,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
I'm very good. Yourself?
Good, then.
First up, the authority advertised to furnish and install 2 truck-mounted attenuators and an aero board on 2 of our existing trucks. These are crash cushions used and deployed in our work zones to protect our workers and the traveling public. We advertised in the New York State Reporter, and we received 1 bid from Traffic Lane Closures, certified WBE, at a price of $47,750. We'd like to purchase these, if you may.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next.
And we've also advertised to furnish 1 2020 Chevy Silverado. It's a work cab truck to replace truck 288 at the Mid-Hudson Bridge, which has over 100,000 miles and 8,750 hours on it. The old truck will be put up for auction. We advertised in the New York State Contract Reporter, received 1 bid from Robert Green Auto and Truck for $36,905. There was there's no current authorized MWBE vendor for vehicles, and therefore we'd like to award the purchase to Robert Green.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Questions? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next.
We advertised for 1 2019 Dodge Journey. to replace truck 333. It's Craig Gardner's Ford Escape, which has over 178,000 miles on it, which will be put up for auction. We received 3 bids from the bidding at the contract reporter. Robert Green had the apparent low bid of $23,383. Once again, there is currently no authorized MWBE vendor for vehicles like this.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
As you see, this is a pretty competitive bidding. Within $500, you had 3
Right.
bids. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next?
And then we went out to bid for a, well, actually, we're utilizing the New York State OGS contract for an air compressor unit. The one at Newburgh has reached the end of its useful life. We got an estimate of $15,000 to replace the engine of the existing unit. However, we thought it was in the best interest of the authority to purchase an entirely new compressor, and we got a price of $24,751 from the OGS contract.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Questions? All in favor, say aye. Next?
The second quarter of 2019 accident, traffic accident summary reports included in your packet. Craig and I have reviewed the accidents and found nothing that of particular that we could do to help prevent similar accidents from occurring. All of the accidents are believed to be from driver error, i.e. driving too fast, not paying attention, or distracted driving. I've included past second quarter accidents from the prior 4 years. Things seem to be pretty much in line. You'll notice that Newburgh westbound was high, and that's because of also eastbound because of the construction going on in there at 9W. So we assume as soon as that's over, hopefully those accidents will decrease a little bit.
No action needed by the board. Last one, jobs in progress.
Jobs in progress at the Rip Van Winkle Bridge. The truss link and joint rehab project is nearly complete. The Empire State Trail construction at the Kingston Rhinecliff Bridge has begun with completion scheduled for the end of September. Newburgh Beacon, the sidewalk steel repair project was recently awarded at the last board meeting, and the contractors scheduled to begin in August.
To accept jobs in progress report.
Second, please.
Second.
Questions? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Next, Brian.
Good afternoon. First up is the monthly investment report. There are 11 investments for the month of June, all of a routine nature. Those investments are reflected in the investment inventory report. Currently, the reserve fund stands at a balance of $2.5 million. Interest income or yield increased from the month of May to 2.12%.
To accept the investment report.
Second, please.
Second.
Questions? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Okay, next up is the annual insurance renewals. The authority has several policies up for renewal. A few items just to note as we go through it. Under the general and umbrella excess liability policy, the market has shifted, unfortunately, to the point where our carrier no longer offers that line of coverage. Apparently losses have become so excessive we were unable to go and obtain the same umbrella excess liability coverage by any carrier in the market. We were forced to go and split coverage, leaving the incumbent carrier with the first $10 million in losses and going out for a second policy to cover from $10 to $25 million in losses from Berkshire Hathaway. Apparently, in addition to our losses that we had experienced in 2017, the industry as a whole is now retreating because they've experienced far greater risk than they had anticipated. In addition to that, we're going through With the rest of the policy renewals, business automobile, we have a temporary rise in fleet size as we're doing some auctions, which several of those, at least 3 of them, are to be picked up within the next few days, but there's a slight rise there. The majority of it is based on, unfortunately, the timing in fleet as we update our vehicle fleet, and it takes a little bit of time to go and outfit the new vehicles with radios and such, and then get them out to auction, or get the old ones out to auction. In addition to that, the police professional package was straightforward. It was a straight renewal with no premium change. On the commercial package side, there was an issue with our property policy. In the past, we were utilizing a company called Harleysville. Harleysville was classifying the authority as a chemical manufacturing facility erroneously, and as such was giving...
Or maybe not.
No comment. Apparently, that is why we were seeing such great rates, and they were actually proposing rates much better than any competitor, even when we were doing the RFP cycles. Well, Harleysville has been taken over by Nationwide, who now doesn't feel the need to go and classify us as a chemical manufacturing facility, and as such, our property coverage went up significantly. So with this policy, with this renewal, we've now moved from Harleysville, from Nationwide, formerly Harleysville, to Great American and Travelers for the crime coverage, and next year we will be going out with an RFP consistent with the cycle.
Move to accept the insurance renewals?
Second? Approximately, you really have about $125,000 increase in insurance premiums?
Bit
575 to 697.
more than that, yeah. It's unfortunately, it just was not a good year. The market overall, obviously, when you hear things like AIG has abandoned an entire market, it's been a pretty significant shift. How it was represented to me and what I've seen in articles is most of the companies were taking such heavy hits on the $25 million umbrella excess that they just don't offer the coverage anymore. They're walking away from it. And obviously, we can see that when we've had losses ourselves. So
Combination of our own losses.
that didn't help, but the fact that they no longer, it would be one thing if they just didn't offer the coverage to us. They just walked away from the market entirely. So they don't offer that coverage anymore, and I'm told other large carriers have done the same.
Everybody's juries are the same.
That is true, yes.
The insurance has gone from 362 to 697,000 for 6 years.
Yes, but the majority of that has been driven by the general liability and excess liability,
Yeah,
for
exactly,
which
right.
our losses that we have had are
Yeah.
decade, or at least a decade or more in what do you call it, in premiums. So, okay.
We'll take a look at it.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, you have to compare the premiums with what's been paid out.
Okay, so last up is the Accident Review Committee report for the second quarter of 2019. There were 116 accidents on authority facilities for 2019 compared to 100 in the previous year. During this period, there were 3 accidents, none with injuries involving authority personnel, as compared to none in the prior year. Details of those accidents are laid out. On a year-to-date basis, the authority had 208 accidents. This compares to 165 in the previous year. Jeff had gone and provided an overview in his document as to some of the reasons for those accidents. There's no action required by the board.
Any other questions? If not, thank you, Brian. Information technology, bridge operations. Mr.
Good
Kelly,
afternoon.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
All right, so first up is Easy Pass equipment maintenance. Catch has been sole source provider for Easy Pass antenna and signal processing since the inception of Easy Pass. The rates and contractual terms of their service agreement are negotiated by the Easy Pass IAG group. So we entered into a new 10-year agreement that began in 2012 that the board authorized the authority to enter into. This maintenance contract provides for on-site support and proactive system conditioning. So this is actually going to be for 2 invoices. Catch failed to invoice the authority for the 18-19 maintenance cycle, so all the work was performed, nothing changed, they just didn't invoice us until July this year. And then we're also asking for the 19 and 20 maintenance year, which is normal, usually we pay for the service year in advance, so.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Next.
All right, so the second part is a revisit from last month. So last month, the Board of Commissioners passed a resolution that I brought forth. However, it was vague, and I did not specify the vendors to be paid as part of our license plate reader upgrade. So I'm back this month, and what we've done with the resolution is specified all the vendors to be paid as part of this project, but the core of the project did not change in substance.
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Any other questions?
How's the license, are these things working, the license plate reading working?
Yeah, so from system reliability, they've been virtually flawless. So uptime has been excellent, and at the 3 smaller bridges, anytime we've ever needed to access these things, which is rare, they've been really accurate and effective for what we need them for. So yeah, it's been an excellent system.
But even though we don't access them with a large amount of frequency, they're a very useful tool for all our traffic security considerations.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? No, if not. Next, report to the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. We first have the monthly activity report for the acting executive director, and there is none in any financial impact. We have Dan Pass's report on the June 2019 traffic and revenue analysis, cash and easy pass comparison. And for the record, the New York State Bridge Authority's revenues are $162,947 above last year's receipts. That's an increase of 0.58%. This revenue decreased for the second straight month in June 2019, with an overall decrease in traffic in the second straight month of commercial traffic revenue decreasing by over 4%. The next report is the June 2019 Easy Pass sales analysis. We experienced a decrease of 12.9%. And then finally, I have our Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley monthly report for June 2019. The highlights include we received a grant in the amount of $10,000. That same grant notified us that this grant will be provided annually to fund school bus trips and related expenses. We additionally received a grant from the Hudson River Greenway for $1,500 to help defray the costs of the Hudson River Skywalk grand opening that we had last month. And that's all I have for you, Chairman.
So does that mean you're gonna have to apply for those Harriman funds every year, or is it just gonna be automatic?
We have to send reports and an annual request.
As long as we do that, we're going to print that knowledge here. Very good. Any other questions? If not, any presentations to the board? Do you have a question on that?
No.
Oh, no.
Well, we're getting ready to adjourn.
Now, well, we're going through the process, that's why you have something, old business, new business, you got
Well,
new
do
business?
it. Yeah, well, this is something I've been contemplating and I mentioned to Tara, but this will be my last meeting.
Oh,
I've enjoyed it. It's been a great experience. I want to say to all the staff, it's been a great time, and all the commissioners. But what the governor said on the TV this morning about agriculture, I cannot support. he was so critical of agriculture, not getting with it, being with it, and bringing the employees. We treated our employees so. I do not support that. I cannot. I've got so many of my farmer friends coming to me and say, what are we gonna do about this? I can't support it. I don't know, maybe you heard the remarks, but it seemed that agriculture is criminal. It's the largest industry in New York State. There's 8 farms for sale now in the Hudson Valley here. Agriculture's in tough shape, and we go, and not only that, it's hurting the employees more than it is me. I'm okay, don't worry about me. But the employees, they do not like a day off when there's a crop to harvest. And they don't like 6 days. They know, management, how much overtime do you pay here? You try to avoid it.
Sure.
And so, but now we're gonna hit with overtime. At harvest time, 60 hours means like a lot of, but these folks we have working for us now, they want hours. They wanna work, and that's what they're there for. So I say, yeah, I'm sorry about it, but I hate to leave on a little sour note, because it's been a great experience for me. But yeah, I can't support somebody on TV bashing agriculture like that.
Well, Rod, on behalf of the board and myself, I wish you'd maybe reconsider, wait another month.
Well, my
Yeah,
age is
you know.
against me. You know,
What's
I'm
that?
83 years old.
Well, you're a valuable asset to the
So-
board, and we'd like you to serve.
Yeah,
I just hold for another month, and maybe reconsider your
Well, they give us-
decision
Thank
before
you.
you write your resignation letter.
Yeah, I
but,
need an address to send that to.
Did you hear what I said?
Take your time, Dave.
Yep.
But, there again, you've been an asset to this board, and I think every commissioner would agree to that. But hopefully, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I have a lot of friends in the agriculture business that feel the same way. Maybe things will change a little bit, but maybe you can reconsider and wait another month before you make that crucial decision.
I heard what you said.
All right, thank you.
Rod, you were commissioner when I left. The commissioner came back, and your service has been outstanding. I've watched closely, and I know what I'm talking about.
He and I developed a good relationship.
And I would really like to work with you a lot longer. Please,
The rules.
Maybe you bring all that experience to this board, though. We don't have it, other than Harry, but.
I move we adjourn.
Well, any attorney planning? Information, no? Rod? Val? On the one provision, you reconsider.
Just don't accept this for. I guess it goes beyond here. Huh?
Yeah, I would think so. Second, please, on adjournment.
second.
Our next meeting is August 15th, our time at 3 p.m. Hopefully, Commissioner Dressel will be with us then. Thank you.